Family, you can already tell this is a bit different. I'm coming to you before this already well-produced podcast because yesterday was a lot, and I want y'all to know I have a special episode coming about Brittney Griner's sentence. Her sentence was a punch in the gut at just how ruthless Russia really is. They have the leverage, and they are using it. I started a special edition episode about the verdict and started doing the research, but I need more time to process and read and listen. I have so much to say, and there is so much being said, and I want to include it all. So be on the lookout for a special episode this weekend. It will be full of commentary and rich reporting, I promise. I also want to acknowledge the wins yesterday, too. Bre'Yon Taylor's family was finally seen and heard. I am so grateful for the accountability. I'm so grateful for federal prosecution. The families of Sandy Hook were finally seen and heard. We remember them today. Now, on to the episode that was originally produced. I want to thank my team, and I will talk to y'all this weekend. Peace. Family, it's your favorite queer radio personality, Anna DeShawn, with our queer news for today. Now, I want to make you a promise. We will continue to bring you the latest in queer news, culture, and politics. 7 minutes a day, 5 days a week. So, if you are digging our intersectional take on the daily, consider joining the QCrew. The QCrew is our monthly membership program we started to help grow the podcast. With your help, we can bring you more stories celebrating our lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and comrade communities. This month for the QCrew, we have an exclusive interview with our new producer, Day. Catch the video to learn all about them and to hear his 5 vocals, okay? He brings it. If you want to watch the exclusive interview, though, you got to join the QCrew. Now, you've shown your support by tuning into this episode. You can show your curiosity by clicking the link in the show notes to learn more about the QCrew. Now for our BG update. She has been wrongfully detained for 168 days. It is being reported that we will have a verdict by Friday. Friday, y'all. Brittney is facing up to 10 years in a Russian prison. As you all know, the U.S. has what they define as a, quote, substantial proposal on the table for Russia, but we must wait till the court sentences her to see if Russia will take the trade. We will keep following the story and keep you all updated. Now, in other news, Jennings' book, I Am Jazz, is being banned across the country. Republicans seem to have time on their hands per usual, as 5 Republican senators demand warning labels for TV shows with LGBTQ characters, and same-sex marriage plaintiff and activist Jim Obergefell is running for Ohio office. Let's go.
You are now tuned in to higher frequencies. We do this frequently. Turn your radio station to E3 for that decency. Listen to great music and the latest movement. Safe listening for anyone that's tuned in. Who you waking up to? Anna DeShawn, QCrew and friends. It's that real talk. Online radio with the spins. You caught up in traffic, frustrated. Just check in with E3 to shift your vibrations and get elevated. That's queer radio done right. Choose to be yourself. That's the only way to live life, and that's how it's done here. Just know y'all tuned in to the greatest. Ain't no competition. We ain't worried about the other stations. Check.
Our leading story for today is trans TV personality and LGBTQ activist Jennings. She's speaking out against state legislatures across the country who have banned her children's book, I Am Jazz. The book describes her existence, finding her identity, and attempts to explain to a young audience what being transgender means and to help them learn about their identity. Her book was recently removed from Palm Beach classrooms and libraries under the Parental Rights in Education Bill, which we all know as the Don't Say Gay Bill. It's a clear discrimination act against a trans woman's book and continues to be banned from libraries nationwide. She's also one of the youngest people to come out as trans. Y'all remember Jazz's story, right? And she said this: I was assigned male at birth. At age 2, I expressed I knew I was a girl. At age 5, I began my social transition. And today, despite living my life as a proud trans woman, My children's book, I Am Jazz, is being banned all over the country. This country and its legislators pride themselves in being inclusive, but as Jazz said in a video posted by Gay Magazine, they ban books like hers for fear that the books will indoctrinate their kids into being LGBTQ, which is just ridiculous. Either you are or you aren't. It's just that simple. We all know books like this help to guide the experience of a trans person and help families understand and support their kids or loved ones. I really appreciate Jazz speaking out about this, as we have reported many times about the banned books that are happening across the country affecting primarily Black and LGBTQ content. Here's to Jazz working to get her books back on the shelves. Speaking of legislators and their continued anti-LGBTQ antics, 5 Republican senators have actually written a letter to the TV Parental Guidelines Monitoring Board demanding a warning label on shows that include LGBTQ characters. I tell you no lies. Senators Roger Marshall of Kansas, Mike Lee of Utah, Kevin Kramer of North Dakota, and Steve Daines of Montana penned this outrageous letter to the board. Now, what they said was that the mention of LGBTQ people automatically makes the show, quote, sexually related content, saying it's meant for mature audiences only. They are labeling anyone who is a supporter of LGBTQ rights, quote, a groomer, of course, that's their favorite word these days, in an attempt to paint gay and transgender people as child predators. They also said in their letter that, quote, to the detriment of children, gender dysphoria has become sensationalized in the popular media and television with radical activists and entertainment companies. They also say it will, quote, harm children and destabilize and damage parental rights, end quote. They don't cite any shows in this letter, but they mention Disney a lot because they're trying to leverage Florida's Don't Say Gay law. Goodness knows they have time on their hands to come up with some of the most ridiculous things. I mean, don't they have better things to do with their time? There have to be real issues they need to focus on. There just has to be. We are overdue in this episode for some good news, okay? Now, the man who made same-sex marriage rights legal nationally is running for office. That's right, Jim Obergefell himself. Jim is moving from activism into a political run for office. His landmark case before the Supreme Court legalized same-sex marriage nationwide, and he's hoping to run on the message of equality for Ohio State House. He's unopposed in a primary race for a state legislative seat, which is great. He's looking forward to a November face-off against second-term Republican Rep DJ Swearingen. Obergefell believes that his message of inclusivity will reach moderate Republicans and independents. His run for office is coming at a sensitive time, as y'all know, for our rights and the LGBTQ movement after the Supreme Court repealed the constitutional right to abortion, raising fears that other rights may also fall away, including same-sex marriage. So we are cheering him on and his campaign. Let's go, Jim, because we need more inclusivity and more people from our community to represent and change the perception of LGBTQ folks. It's only true representation that increases true acceptance and understanding. So let's end the podcast with a word from my mastermind book. Y'all know I be reading my mastermind journal and my affirmations every day. Now, this is an affirmation that really blessed me, and I hope it blesses you too. It says, I choose my focus, I choose faith, I choose peace, I choose love. That first part though, I choose my focus, is big for me right now. There are lots of things going on around me every day, so staying focused is crucial, especially when there are deadlines to meet. Choose your focus means saying no to lots of things that I really want to do because it isn't going to serve my larger goals. So remember this affirmation today. Choose your focus. Choose faith. Choose peace. Choose love. Till tomorrow, family. Peace. If you enjoyed what you hear, rate and review us inside your favorite podcasting app. This podcast is a production of E3 Radio, your #1 queer radio station playing queer music and reporting on queer news in high rotation.